Can PulseChain realistically get to $1? Now, the first part we've got to look at is the supply. There is a total supply of 135 trillion. And if you look at that, it seems like a tall order because a dollar would mean a market cap of 135 trillion, which is a lot of money, right? It's multiples of the size of the crypto space right now. But if you look at it a little bit closer, you find that 90% of those tokens are most likely in the hands of Richard Hart, right? I say most likely because I can't definitively say that, but it's at least 99% certainty that I have that they're in the hands of Richard Hart. And what we know about Richard Hart is he cares a lot about price performance. And we also know that in regards to Hex, he has never sold any Hex ever since Hex was created. So that leaves us with a supply of 13.5 trillion. That it starts to become a little bit more logical that, yeah, at this point we can really smash those big numbers. Now, the second thing to take in consideration is that PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum, so we benefit from the EIP 1559, which made Ethereum deflationary, somewhat deflationary. And that means that a portion of all transaction fees are burned. Now, whenever transaction fees get high, a lot of us start complaining that, Richard Hart, what is going on? Why is transaction fees so much? What about scalability? What about improving? But one thing that most of us don't look at is that the higher the transaction fee, the more the pulse that is being burned. So transaction fees are not a good thing, but they clearly make PulseChain, they remove supply from PulseChain, which means that the supply from that 13.5 trillion that we have has significantly reduces as well. Now, so far, since PulseChain has been created, like almost 2.5 weeks ago, what we've had, I think, about over 1 billion, I think the number is about 1.7 billion Pulse tokens that have been burned. Now, it's not as good as the Pulse X buy and burn, which is burned 77 billion, right? But when you're burning tokens, it's still good. Now, there's another thing that I think we've got to think about as well, right? In regards to the supply, is staking. Right now, we've got almost 20,000 validators. Now, to be a validator, you have to lock up 32 million Pulse tokens. That means that that's a lot of supply that is off the market, right? Reducing that big number of 13.5 trillion again. Now, in regards to staking, one of the things that I gotta mention is this. PulseChain is still very, very new. That means that we don't have the infrastructure yet for making it easy to stake. For example, if you're on Ethereum, you've got tools that people who don't have, on Ethereum you need 32 Ethereum to stake, right? People who don't have 32 Ethereum can use decentralized applications like Lido Finance, right? They can use, there are some teams that create a sort of a pool, as it were, like Rocket Pool, where people can put their money there and they can benefit and earn staking rewards and earn transaction fees by pooling their money together, their resources together, if they don't have the required 32 Ethereum. So the PulseChain will have that same infrastructure as well. It's still early stages. That infrastructure is being built right now. That will allow you to stake your 1 million Pulse, your 5 million Pulse, your 10 million Pulse. I think that's going to significantly increase the amount of Pulse that is removed from the market, subtracting from that big number again of 13.5 trillion that we have. So, and then another thing that we're going to have is the utility of Pulse. Utility of Pulse tokens, right? Pulse tokens are used for several things at the moment. They're used for, but for the most part, it's mostly as a trading pair on Pulse X. But we're going to have things like decentralized leverage trading come in that most likely will use Pulse as a utility token there. We're going to have different protocols as well. We've got stable coins that will be backed by Pulse tokens. We've got many assets that are being built that have already been announced by many teams that are being built that will utilize Pulse as a utility token. Now, that's also going to remove some of that supply from the market. Now, looking at all these numbers, right, we've got the big 13.5. I think that from the 13.5 trillion, we're going to have about 75% of that being used for its utility, and that will be off the market. That would leave us with a supply of about 3.8 trillion. Now, when you start looking at that number, it starts to make sense that, look, the dollar is not such a huge deal after all. Now, a dollar might still be hard for many to comprehend, myself included. However, 10 cents, which would bring us to a market cap of around 380 billion, not a market cap, but what's on the market available for sale for about 380 billion, starts to look extremely doable. So a dollar might be one that takes a lot of time, a lot of belief, a lot of strong faith, a lot of degen. However, I think 10 cents is a lot more reasonable. But the thing about crypto is this. Crypto a lot of times pumps a lot harder than anyone has ever imagined. And sometimes it dips harder too. So as much as a dollar is doable, as much as 10 cents is doable, as much as a penny is doable, we ought to always remember that crypto is extremely volatile and unpredictable. We can really smash those numbers in no time. Now, the one of the things to think about as well is the big whale wallets. The big whale wallets might cause the ride, well, not might, will definitely cause the ride to be extremely rocky, because they will take profits at some point. Because big whales will take profits at 100x, right? They will take profits at 10x. They will take profits maybe at 20x. So the ride to a dollar, if it is that we read it, the rise to 10 cents, if we hit that too, is not going to be a straightforward ride. It's going to be a ride that is extremely bumpy, with lots of fun, with lots of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? It's going to be a ride that is loaded with those things. But all in all, I think we're in the best ecosystem right now, the best, the fastest growing, the one that will flourish the most, the ones that will deliver most gains, with those tokens, the PulseX, the Richard R tokens, and with other ecosystem tokens as well, right? We have PulseChain, a decentralized meme coin on PulseChain with less than $1 million market cap, which I'm definitely part of it and extremely bullish on it. So we've got all these things that are being built. We've got your different projects, Hedron, Icosa, liquid loans, all that stuff that's being built, that's going to add utility, that's going to remove supply off the market, and that could potentially give us those big numbers. Now, let me know what you think in the comments below. And obviously, none of this is financial advice. Cryptos are extremely risky. Let me know if you think a dollar is doable. Let me know if you think 10 cents is doable. Okay. Let me give you one big one. Let me know if you think $100 is doable. Now that one is for me, a dollar is hard to fathom, but $100, that's next level. I cannot fathom that. I think that 10 cents a penny, those numbers, I think they're extremely much more doable. However, I don't think that it's going to be a straight road to get there. I think it's going to be extremely bumpy and all that other good stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again next time. And as usual, not financial advice, guys. Yeah.